world comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everybody. A few minutes late. Oh, it's 2:22, not by accident. And I'm going to apologize now. I am also in the middle of a kind of a job interview. They're just kind of describing to me what the job is and talking about, a digital wallet. And I don't quite understand. I don't quite trust it because I'm older and I don't understand things. So today we're going to on this one, we're going to do a random reading from the big book. Hopefully it isn't something out of my purview. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. Give me a random number between 1 and 164.
132.
132. Okay. We just did 132 the other day. I know that we did. Let's go double check to make sure, or we're going to pick a different number here. Good afternoon, Leisure. It's going to be one of those, we're going to pick a random number till Dion finds something like, and look, I literally opened it up to 132. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to argue with God. That's a sign. That's a sign, right? It's in the family afterwards. I'm going to start on the top of page 131. Like I said a minute ago, you're going to have to be a little patient with me because I'm also kind of in the middle of a job interview at the moment. It's just, I don't understand it. And you will earn $8 as your new register. After that, it'll guide you through the steps on how to earn money. Once you're done, you will be rewarded. Do you think that is okay? Yes. That works for me. So these, and Leisure, you might be able to answer this for me, but they want to pay me through a digital wallet. And it doesn't really feel like money to me. Okay. Of course, it's kind of a sales job, but should I trust a digital wallet? This is kind of my question. Doesn't seem like, can I buy my groceries? Can I pay my stuff? What can I use it for? I mean, feels more like a rewards card. Oh, you earn rewards. We put them on this card and you can spend them at selected places. That's what it feels more like. So I could use a little help there. I know it is off topic, but I don't know if you were listening all the way through. I don't know if you caught it, but I asked for, is it okay? That's what I thought. Thank you, Leisure. Okay. I feel a little bit better about it now. So, okay. That means I'm going to have to do a little bit more work here shortly. So, and that's okay. But I said we're going to do a random number, and it gave me 132. And I'm like, well, we just kind of covered 132. So I'm not sure we're going to do it. And then I opened the book. To page 132. So then I said, well, I'm not going to argue with God. Let me answer this real quick. Can I do this in about an hour? Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And Amber says I have a digital wallet with my Apple Card on my iPhone. Okay. So it is. I just wanted to make sure it was legit. I'm a little behind on the times. Let's go back to a book written in 1939 of something I understand much better than a digital wallet. I get it now. I get it now. It's just I'm not seeing the actual cash, right? Right. GTS. I don't know what GTS is. So if you could enlighten me on that 3-letter acronym or what I would call a TLA. All right. We have a lot of TLAs, 3-letter acronyms. All right. I think this person just trying to get their cell. All right. On page 131, drinking isolates most homes from the outside world. Father may have laid aside for years all normal activities, clubs, civic duties, sports. Dion didn't do his introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. If you're here, please say hello, whether you watch it live or to rewatch, and then we'll get back to this. All right. When he renews interest in such things, a feeling of jealousy may arise. The family may feel they hold a mortgage on dad so big that no equity should be left for outsiders. Instead of developing new channels of activities for themselves, mother and children demand that he stay home and make up for the deficiency. Oh, Google that shit. I did Google it and I still didn't trust the answer. So, oh, Amber's gonna drive by my house. I'm waving hi now. The highway backs my house. So with what we're talking about here, what I would recommend, set a day aside in the week that you're going to spend with the family and do something a little, do something. Okay. She's like, okay, when you're done, let me know. And I make it pretty easy. I don't feel like I'm being pressured in this. I'm getting a job where I can do it from home and it's not recovery. It's not recovery stuff. I'm not even sure really what it is, but I know I'll pick it up. So it can't be that fucking hard. But they flash some big numbers in front of me. I don't like that. Anyway, what I would recommend is setting a day aside for the family. Start somewhere. You gotta spend time with the family, man. These are the people that put up with your bullshit for years and years and years. Right? All right. At the very beginning, the couple ought to frankly face the fact that they will have to yield here and there if the family is going to play an effective part in the new life. Father will necessarily spend much time with other alcoholics, but this activity should be balanced. Aha. Balanced. It's got to be balanced. New acquaintances who know nothing of alcoholism might be made and thoughtful consideration given their needs. The problems of the community might engage attention. Though the family has no religious connections, they may wish to contact with or take membership of a religious body. We all kind of find our spirituality in different ways. And I will certainly not limit my own children. In fact, my daughter and I were just talking about this yesterday. Because and it was funny because I brought up God, but then I used Amber's description. I'm like, when I say God, I mean it as a general word, like shirt, like a shirt. You could have a blouse, a tie dye, and Amber does this so much better than me. And she really liked that. She's like, oh, I love that explanation. I'm going to steal it. I'm like, well, you should, because she stole it probably, and they stole it and they stole it. But it's just a generalized word, and it just made the conversation a little bit neater. Alcoholics who have derided religious people will be helped by such context. Being possessed of a spiritual experience, the alcoholic will find he hasn't much in common with these people, though he may differ with them on many matters. And that's okay. We got to see where religious people are right. Just like AA meetings, okay? Go take what you need and leave the rest. We can do that, all right? Dog. You guys are just weird. Okay. Dog. That's what Leisure says. Is it another 3-letter acronym? Or did Dion say something about dogs and not remember? If he does not argue about religion, he will make new friends and sure to find new avenues of usefulness and pleasure. He and his family can be a bright spot in such congregations. He may bring new hope and new courage to many priest, minister, or rabbi who gives his all to minister to our troubled world. Oh wow. I've experienced this. I work closely with her name's Pastor Marcia. Not going to give you her last name though. And I had started some meetings at this place called Henderson Community Church, and that's where I met Pastor Marcia. Well, I met her a little bit before that at Northglenn Church. She had done a service for the family, and I met her, and we just connected. She's in another 12th step. She frequents another 12th step program. Oh, okay, God. Okay. Dog is God. Got it. Okay. My dyslexia should have caught that. Here's a good joke for you. You ever hear the dyslexic atheist who didn't believe in dog? All right. So yeah. And she told me flat out, she's like, I was getting ready to leave Henderson Community Church, and then you showed up and I stuck around. She stayed at the church because I was there. Now, I'm not saying that for ego or pride or anything else. I'm just showing that it does happen. I'm just utilizing another example. All right. In fact, I'm going to be talking to her later today, and there's a lot of things that we agree on, and I've learned a lot from her. She doesn't really believe in the Christian God either. No, she doesn't believe in the damnation and the hellfire and everything else. So, but we can give new courage to flagging spirits. Pretty cool, man. We intend the foregoing as a helpful suggestion only. So far as we are concerned, there is nothing obligatory about it. As non-denominational people, we cannot make up other minds for them. Each individual should consult his own conscience. Okay? If you don't want to go to church, you don't require to go to church. I didn't tell you to go to church. That's up for each individual person to decide. And that includes the people in the family, because they may be your child, but they're a child of God first. Yes, they are. We have been speaking to you of serious, sometimes tragic things. We have been dealing with alcohol in its worst aspect, but we are not a glum lot. If newcomers could see no joy or fun in our existence, they wouldn't want it. We absolutely insist on enjoying life. We try not to indulge in the cynicism over the state of the nations, nor do we carry the world's troubles on our shoulders. When we see a man sinking into a mire that is alcoholism, we give him first aid and place what we have at his disposal. For his sake, we do recount and almost relive the horrors of our past. But those of us who have tried to shoulder the entire burden and trouble of others find we are soon overcome by them. Leisure says spiritually, and dog happens 100% of the time. What was I going to say on that? My mind's easily distracted right now. Okay. Now, as a new person, if you're working with somebody, the key is never work harder than the sponsee. You cannot work your sponsee's program. You cannot tell them how to work their program, right? Watch your empathy level. Watch how much empathy you're trying to give up. Okay. That's something that I always have to be careful of, or I become overwhelmed by other people's emotions. It's real easy for me to slip into that. So we think cheerfulness and laughter make for usefulness. Outsiders are sometimes shocked when we burst into merriment over a seemingly tragic experience out of the past. But why shouldn't we laugh? We have recovered and been given the power to help others. Laughter is one of the most restorative emotions. Yeah. Happiness. And the fact that you've been given the power to help others, going from a hopeless, helpless, chronic alcoholic to helping others. And in my mind, that's nothing short of a miracle. Nothing short of it. And it's not just other alcoholics that we it's not just other alcoholics that we tend to affect, but anybody trying to get closer to God. Everybody knows that those in bad health and those who seldom play do not laugh much. So let each family play together or separately as much as their circumstances warrant. We are sure God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. I would agree with that. And my freedom comes from my reliance upon my higher power, or dog in this case, right? Yeah. So I'm not going to do this much longer. In other words, this one won't be much more longer, just a couple more minutes, because I got to get this other stuff taken care of, and then the 3 o'clock, and I got to get the dishes done. So we cannot subscribe to the belief that this life is a vale of tears, though it was once just that for many of us. But it is clear that we made our own misery. God didn't do it. And here's a big one. Avoid then the deliberate manufacture of misery, but if trouble comes, cheerfully capitalize it as an opportunity to demonstrate his omnipotence. Even when trouble comes, we get to show again, how we can change that, how we can be right. Here's a good example. Yesterday in the grassroots meeting, there's a strict policy. There's no crosstalk. And somebody was talking, and I said something about what they were saying while they were talking, and that goes against the rules. So during halftime, because I wasn't chairing the meeting, I apologized for the crosstalk. I'm supposed to be the example in that meeting. But people understand. Sometimes I'm 4 years old. I can't help myself. I just get too fucking excited. Can't keep my mouth shut. Okay. But what I was able to do is be a good example. Right? So, and once I finish the dishes, then I can have my tea. How can you have if you don't eat your meat? How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? Oh no, not the dishes and the gingerbread man. But oh no, not the dishes. Oh no, it's Mr. Bill. So continue being a good example. It might take years for other people to recognize or get on board but what's neat is everybody has the freedom in their own discovery. All right. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see some of you at 3 o'clock. We'll see the rest of you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.